Din ka jigi sim bentakran sengolam daki MLA bat ki menteri sarkar haka sengi besan ke dorbar mangtingka jong ke yeng dorbar thawan ke jela Meghalaya haka arpau terik Lamphang arajar arpun Briew bala lam khmat dau menteri rangba ke jelau konrad ke sangma bat unoi lam ke liang persa Dr. Mukul sangma Halor ke jingklat no Dr. Sinkant UMP ke Lok Sabha na Shillong Parliamentary constituency ubala khlat no haka khat khandai terik Lamphang arajar arpun Briew Lamphang ke yeng Thomas sangma habakran shwa ban penwa ya kesngi shong dorbar kani kesngi ulaong bawat la umpat ya kendu marmat bat u Dr. Sinkant hendai utepat bau de Briew bo Sheptieng yau Blei bat bo Skhem ke Jingngeit ulaong bau Dr. Sinkant kum unno hikai bodu dukhat Lok Sabha ulakran shibun ki balong jingmen toy tang ya ka jella hendai ya ka than chatai lammi ngi kari India Lamphang ulapan kot ya kani kesngi shong dorbar daga bapen longjing sengap jar kumba arminat ban burom ya kamen balaklat no jong Dr. Sinkant bat kum kejing sengolam syakibah ying.
My deepest condolences to the bereaved family members of late Dr. Sinkant. Lok Sabha Member of Parliament representing Shillong ST constituency of Meghalaya, late Dr. Sinkant passed away on 19th February 2026 at 56 years of age. Late Dr. Sinkant was born on 6th January 1972 in Lamphang, Shillong. He received his early education at St. Edmund's School and then completed his schooling at Lamphang Presbyterian School. He undertook his pre-university studies in commerce in Shillong Commerce College, a distinguished academic that he obtained his master's degree in economics, followed by MCom, a doctorate in economics from the School of Economics, Management and Information Sciences, Northeastern Hill University. Late Dr. Sinkant began his professional career in academia at St. Dominic's College in 1996. He then served as a faculty of St. Edmund's College in 1997 and later as assistant professor in the Department of Economics at NEHU. His dedication to scholarship and public service earned him respect among colleagues and students alike. Late Dr. Sinkant entered public life in 2023 when he contested the assembly election from Umsning constituency as a candidate of the Voice of the People's Party, VBP. He then contested the general election of 2024 from Shillong ST Parliamentary constituency from the VBP, where he secured a resounding victory, thus becoming a member of the 18th Lok Sabha. He was one of the founding members of the VBP and also served as the General Secretary of the party. As a parliamentarian, late Dr. Sinkant was known for his integrity, intellectual depth, and steadfast advocacy for the rights and development of the Northeastern region. While being deeply grounded in his faith, he exemplified humility, compassion, and service in both public and private life. Though I did not have the privilege of knowing him personally, I learned that besides being a good academician, a teacher, and a politician, he was a God-fearing person, man of strong faith. Last year, in December 2025, he delivered God's message to our Garo brothers and sisters in Delhi during the advanced Christmas service program of Delhi Aceh Christian Fellowship. I join this House in paying respect and offer my condolences and my sincere prayers that our God, through our Lord Jesus Christ, may give the bereaving members of his family and to all his well-wishers and supporters the strength and courage to bear this great loss.
Hakani kasngi ki ba ai jingkran nalor konrad ki sangma ubentri rangba uba renington lingdo tongkhar MLA na mau kurwat bat ke Dr. Mizel Amprin lingdo ke MLA na East Shillong ki kentop yo Dr. Mukul sangma MLA na Songsak pat unong ilam ka liang persha uba Charles Ping Rope u MLA na Nong Thamai uba Meral Bones MLA na Nongpo nang ta uba Ronnie V lingdo MLA na Maliam uba Charles Marngar MLA na Mauhati uba Adelbert Nongrum MLA na North Shillong uba Medba lingdo MLA na Mairang bat Menteri Ketenat Power u Dr. Celestine lingdo MLA na Umsning uba Paul lingdo MLA na West Shillong uba Bantidor lingdo MLA na Maukonro uba Wailat Miki Shilla MLA na Jowai bat Menteri Ketenat Sports u Rupert Momen MLA na Kharkuta bat uba Gabriel Walang MLA na Nongstany.
I would like to convey my deepest condolences to all his loved ones whom he left, to all his associates, partners and colleagues, and the multitudes who loves him, the electorates, and we continue to pray that this sudden loss that the state has witnessed, the Lord, the gracious Almighty, will continue to extend His blessings to comfort and give fortitude to all those who are now saddened by the irreparable sense of loss. Mr. Speaker, sir, indeed, this sudden demise is a big shocker, and we only human, so it's very difficult to even understand and comprehend how fate works. It's difficult truly to comprehend. It is something which probably no one expected, for we know him as a passionate public figure who decided to enter into public life. And we could see the passion and the resolve that he had to truly represent the people and take issues confronting the people and the state head on. In his loss, we have lost a very promising young man who was just in the initial innings in public life, was making a mark, not only at our state level or regional level, but at the national level. We wanted to see him continuing in public life for longer period of time, and we definitely believe that he would and will be benefited as a state. The words are not enough to really describe his passion and the resolve with which he has entered his public life, knowing fully well that this is one of the toughest professions to decide and step into public life, to navigate through this tough and challenging terrain of political landscape across the nation. Having lost him, I only pray that our gracious Almighty God will comfort and be with all those who are deeply saddened by the sense of loss. For as human, we can only comfort with our wishes and presence and prayers, but the true comfort and solace comes from the Lord. For it is written, He is close to the brokenhearted. So the Lord is close to the brokenhearted. And may the gracious Almighty cover each one of the siblings of late Dr. Ricky Sinkant and all his loved ones who are so closely associated with him. May God grant solace and fortitude to all of them, and I pray that the departed soul rest in eternal peace.
So I knew Dr. Ricky. We were from the same locality, and he was a member of the Boxer Presbyterian Church. And we used to meet very often. Before the days he ever thought of joining politics, well, actually at that time he was a faculty of St. Edmund's College, during which one of my seniors in school was the principal of the college. So I was quite a regular visitor there. And I was not in politics at that time too. As I'm talking about 1997. And we used to meet often and talk. Nothing about politics, just about education. Subsequently, he joined Nehu. And I remember clearly that he was also residing there. He had a quarter allotted to him, where sometimes we used to go and spend the evenings together among friends. But since there was a bit of a gap in age difference, not a bit, he used to call me uncle. He said, I'm coming to your place. You make sure you have some dinner for me. He says, no problem, uncle, we'll do that. So that was our association, more as a younger, much younger to me. And subsequently, when he joined politics, we were all surprised. Because Ricky, late Dr. Ricky, I used to call him Ricky, I said, how will you manage? He said, no, uncle, I want to do it. This was, I think, when he fought for Mumsni. 2023. But I think that was his calling. And when he won the elections of 2024, Parliamentary, at the time of voting, if I'm not mistaken, his vote is still in Poksesa. He came to cast his vote. At the same time, I was doing mine. And I wished him, I said, Ricky, all the best. He said, thank you, uncle. After that, of course, you all know he won with a thumping majority, and I didn't see him much after that. But yesterday, sir, when that news came, I was sitting at home. Someone called me over the phone. He said, did you hear the sad incident? I said, what sad incident? He says, Dr. Ricky is no more. I was surprised. I said, how come? So I looked out of my window, thinking if that was the case, because to reach Dr. Ricky's house, you have to pass my house. There was no movement. Then that's the time, sir, when you called me to confirm that we'll have to meet this morning. I went to the house yesterday, since I know his siblings who live there. And there was a huge gathering. I felt sad that such a promising, young politician, come gentleman actually, He was more of a gentleman than a politician. And like the Honorable Leader of the House said, he would have contributed tremendously to the development of our state as a parliamentarian. So, sir, what to say? These are God's ways. I only can pray that his family gets the strength to sustain this loss, to bear and shoulder this immense loss, and may God grant him eternal peace.
I extend my deepest condolences to the family member, and may his soul rest in eternal peace. Late Dr. Ricky A.J. Sinkant, I have an opportunity to associate it with him between the year 2002 and 2004, when I was a student in Northeastern Hill University. He is a simple man since those days, down to earth, straightforward. And I remember during those years when he newly joined NEHU as an associate professor in 2002. As a student during that time, when we participated in the student union election, Northeastern Hill University Student Union, he's always there to advise the student from Meghalaya. Because contesting student union election in NEHU, we have to represent various groups. Those days we know as MPGSU, Meghalaya Postgraduate Student Union. And we represent MPGSU, and he is one of the associated professor who has been very close to our team, how we should prepare ourselves, position ourselves to contest election, to campaign within the campus, within the university. And I still remember the words, the advice that he used to give, how we should approach our fellow students so that we can get their favor. As well as in the year 2003 also, when with our team, I contested as the president of NEHUSU, and he has a great role to play to ensure that we win the election of the student union in 2003-2004. That is within the university. And I had a privilege to travel with him when we went for a study tour outside the state in South India in towards the end of 2003 as a guide, because from our department that year there's no professor who lead us as a guide. And we requested Dr. Ricky to please ensure that he will make himself available to lead us as a guide. And we went for a study tour for almost 2 weeks in South India. Due to paucity of time, there's no time to narrate all the experiences that I had with him. But personally, I felt in those brief 2 years which I associated with him, that is a person who dedicated his life for the state, for the reason to ensure that each and every one of us will have a better future. We understand the initiative that he has taken in a brief period as an honorable member of parliament, in which we will remember for what he has done. Sir, On this note, I would like to express once again my deepest condolences to the family member, to the constituent of 1 Shillong Parliamentary constituency, and I hope that the good deeds that he has done while he had the privilege to serve the state, God will be always by his side. And whatever he has done while he was in this earth, I hope that he will be there in the heart of each and everyone.
Came as a shock, sir, and I also echo what the Leader of the House has expressed. I did not have the opportunity to interact with late Dr. Ricky Sinkant for a long time, but the few times that I had, he came along as, a very simple, humble man and a person so accessible, so friendly, that you felt, like what the Chief Minister just said, that you had known him for a very, very long time. So I had the opportunity to be with him in an official DSHA meeting in the DC's office. And he was a man who had the patience to listen to all of us present in the meeting. And he was so friendly, and then whatever suggestions we gave, he always took note of all those suggestions. So that only shows his sincerity. And there is a saying, sir, like, opposition should not only be positional and functional. And I believe Dr. Ricky Sinkant believes in that saying too, being functional, not only positional, but being functional. So I don't want to say much, but I'd like to express my shock in his untimely demise. While actively engaged in sports, reflects his energetic spirit and love for life, even amidst his demanding public responsibilities. Today he remained active and dedicated till his last breath.
I remember he came to my constituency once, but I was not able to attend that program, school program. After the program, my leader informed me that Dr. Ricky Sinkant, he informed that Ba Charles is not able to come because he have another program, because I have already informed him. Mr. Speaker, sir, Dr. Sinkant, Dr. Ricky A.J. Sinkant, was a dedicated public servant who worked tirelessly for the welfare of the people. Beyond his parliamentary responsibilities, he was also a devoted servant of God, faithfully preaching the gospel and guiding many with his word of faith, hope, and compassion. His life was a testimony to service, I can say, both to the nation and the Almighty. His sudden passing has left us all in profound shock and grief. It is a great loss to the first Shillong Parliamentary constituency, to the faith community, and also, most especially, to his beloved family.
And we are so indebted about his contribution just 2 years after he got elected. His contribution, his service towards the people through Shillong 1 Parliamentary, as he performed his duties and responsibility as what people had bestowed upon him. He had done his duty, his responsibility, especially in the floor of the Parliament. I do wish that if God could extend his life through his service, I strongly believe, and I'm dare to say, that in a tenure of 5 years, we can compare with lots of years which had gone. That we could see the change in our beloved state. I strongly believe that let his death bring change in political mindset so that we can ensure the real change in our beloved state. Of course, it is true. We need to remind the fact that there are two different types of death: a written death and untimely death. On his demise, it's really a great loss for the state as a whole. I will not take much of the time, but just to share my condolences to his beloved family, to the party, and especially to the state as a whole. May God Almighty bless his soul. Our prayer that God will be mercy on his soul and will reward his departed soul to eternal peace in heaven, now and forever.
We all look up to him. And as the people, the majority of the people of the first Shillong Parliamentary constituency have elected him for the term of 5 years, they do expect that late Dr. Ricky Sinkant will deliver those expectations. But for just 1 year and 9 months only, he's no more. Passed away, and whatever we have assigned to him, entrusted to him, is not even halfway of what of the 5 years that we look up. But in this 1 year and 9 months, and prior to that, as the faculty of the St. Edmund's College, thereafter he joined as the assistant professor of the Department of Economics at NEHU. I'm sure, as spelled out by some of our leaders just now, he must have displayed his character, his ability, and he has performed to the best he could in those entrusted assignments. When he joined politics, to be there in the public services in 2023, contesting the general election of the Assembly. Thereafter, in 2024, where he was elected as an MP, People are talking that how come Dr. Ricky Sinkant entered politics? Because as mentioned by most of my colleagues in this August House in their address, that Dr. Ricky Sinkant is a man of integrity, the person of being honest, having strong moral principles, expressing always with positive motives. And I'm pleased to hear from the Honorable Chief Minister about the meeting that they had with late Dr. Ricky Sinkant on the aspiration that he looks up, be it we are different in our political parties, but we could see that he has the good motive for the people of the state. And I'm pleased to note here that the Honorable Chief Minister also was accommodative to discuss and to talk and to meet with regards to the welfare and development of the people of our state. We see that this human being, late Dr. Ricky Sinkant, deserves to be known as a man of integrity. It's not just because he has passed away and we just mentioned the word of integrity, but here everyone has witnessed the character of the person which each and every one of us have to learn from him. Sir, as all honorable members have dwelled a lot on late Dr. Sinkant, I will not take much time, but once again, I would like to express my deepest condolences to all the family members of late Dr. Ricky Sinkant. And we pray that God will grant them strength, God will support them at this time of crisis so that they can stand and accept that God's plan no one can change.
Last night, when I received the news, it was not yet confirmed at the time, of course, but Charles Marangara gave me a call. Then throughout the evening, I was restless. Even though I used to be a very early sleeper, the moment I go to bed, in 5 minutes I fall asleep. But yesterday, till 12 o'clock, midnight, I could not sleep. I took out my mobile, go to YouTube, type Dr. Ricky Sinkant. The first thing that came is his sermon. I don't know the village, but it is Jingngeit district of Mauli district. And the topic of his sermon was also taken from the letter of Paul to the Philippi, if I'm not mistaken. I'm not very well versed and remember much about the gospel, but he said, from that reading in the gospel, for me to live is Christ and to die is victory. Something like that reading which he took. while listening to that, looking at the way he delivered his sermon, who will believe that he is no more with us? Even this morning, I was feeling very heavy, and I know everyone, every member of this house, all the people are feeling sad. We feel like a thick black cloud is covering us. We feel so sad to talk. But when we look at the life of Dr. Ricky Sinkant, in a way, I feel we should not feel that sad. Rather, we should celebrate the achievements academically that he has done, the example that he sets in public life. These are all to be celebrated. In 2023, sir, when we all went for the result day, assembly election result day, I was sitting just adjacent to Dr. Ricky Sinkant, along with the others. And you know, the atmosphere in the counting hall is so heavy. Dr. Ricky Sinkant tapped my shoulder and said, "Doctor, lada job u Dr. Kot, ne job u Dr. Briew, ngi dei ban tresitom." I'll translate that in English. He told me, if Dr. Kot means him, or Dr. Briew means Dr. Seelingdo, if anyone wins, we should work hard for the benefit of the people. I remember that words. So today when I came to the assembly, when I sent the messages to friends that the assembly will continue as usual timing, a tear came to my eye. And there are 2-3 occasions where we went for programs together. In one occasion, in that program, as usual, we used to be given stalls. But in that program, the organizers were using the Ohomia Gamosha. So when that felicitation part was over, Dr. Sinkant was telling me, "Doctor, we should stop all this. Either they give us rindia, local made stalls, or don't give us anything. I don't like to use an item which is made from a different state, which is not belonging to our tradition." So here I realized a person who really is concerned about our own roots, our own values, and the items and articles that we use should be ours. So he also encouraged me, every function that you go, you should tell this. We should tell our people, let us felicitate with the things of our own tradition, or we don't do it if we cannot do it. So on this sad day, I stand here not only on my own behalf, I also speak on behalf of the people of my constituency. There are multitudes of people in my own constituency who love, voted, and still cherish the leadership of the late Dr. Ricky Sinkant. Once again, I convey my heartfelt condolences to the family, for myself and on behalf of my people.
While we mourn his demise, untimely demise, let us also celebrate a life well lived. I had brief encounters with Dr. Sinkant, first as when he was assistant professor at NEHU, which was my alma mater, and later on, when we joined active politics, and it was barely 2 months after his election to the Lok Sabha when he had come to see me and discuss a number of issues which were close to his heart. And I could perceive in that brief encounter at the sacred chamber that he was cut from a different cloth. He belonged to a profession full of challenges, hate and hostility, and yet he personified humility, grace, and poise. So when I received the sad news of his passing yesterday, and I was trying to process the thought, an aphorism came to my mind, which says that life's worth is measured not by its length, but by its depth. Today, there is a palpable sense of gloom across the Khasi Jaintia sector. But in this hour of grief and gloom, it is worth recording a beautiful thought that I came across, which says, yes, it is important to know when you were born, but it is even more important to know why you were born. I'm sure that all of us who have come across Dr. Ricky would agree that he did find out why he was born and tried to live that life. So, I can only say this, that his life has touched many of us. He came to also exemplify that there is still a breed of politicians who enter this profession to serve and not to be served. I would conclude with some lines from Henry Wadsworth Longfellow when he said these memorable lines in the Psalm of Life. Lives of great men all remind us we can make our lives sublime, and departing, leave behind us footprints on the sands of time.
Sir, to share a few words in remembrance and reflection of the passing of late Dr. Ricky Sinkant. Last night, sir, when I received the heartbreaking news of a sudden demise of late Dr. Ricky Sinkant, our Honorable Member of Parliament, I was left with a deep sense of disbelief and heaviness of heart. Sir, his departure from this early life is a great loss that will be deeply felt to his family and loved ones, and to all those whose life be touched through his service. Sir, on behalf of myself and my 29 Maukonro constituency, I extend my heartfelt condolence to the bereaved family during this difficult time. May his soul rest in eternal peace. Late Sok Ba Ricky Sinkant.
At the very outset, sir, I would like to thank you for suspending today's business. I hope, like me, everyone is eager to go and pay their last respect to Dr. Ricky. Sir, it is very unfortunate, and we never expect that we'll have another obituary during this budget session. Sir, as I was sitting here, I was not planning to stand and speak because I didn't get the opportunity to know Dr. Ricky much because I had only one opportunity to meet him. But when I look the way the people of Jingngeit Hills love him, and as you all know that Dr. Ricky have the root from Jingngeit Hills, so I cannot stop myself and rise to participate. And it is a huge shock, especially to the people of Jingngeit Hills, because a couple days ago, he was in Joai chairing the Disha meeting. And sir, he was, like I already mentioned, he was really liked in Jingngeit Hills. And whenever he come to Jingngeit, he always speak in Pnar. And that's how the people really connect with him. That's why he could really gather that much of vote in spite of having the sitting MP of that time from Jingngeit Hills. So sir, he will be remembered as a bridge builder, a dedicated public servant, and above all, a good human being whose kindness touched many lives. So sir, today I stand here on behalf of my constituency and on behalf of the people of Jingngeit Hills in condoling the sudden demise of this leader. May his soul rest in peace and may his family find strength and comfort during this difficult time.
To pay my respect to the departed soul, late Dr. Ricky A.J. Sinkant, who was born on 6 January 1972. There is a word, sir, men may come and men may go, but his deeds, his idea will remain forever. So we are in this world, nobody is permanent. We are just traveler. We are just traveling. So yesterday, around 9 o'clock, I was reading some books. Suddenly, I received a call from Garo Hills, my workers, that he was saying that we heard the news that Shillong MP is no more. I was shocked. I started checking some of the news, and it was true. And I was confirming some of my colleagues that such news I heard, it is true. They said, it is true. Sir, I have encountered a very short period with him. I was working in Northeastern Hill University in the research center. Since Dr. Sinkant was in the economics department, we used to organize seminar, workshop, and lecture series in the office. And as a research center, all the new professors, lecturers used to come. But I don't much notice about him. My first close with him was when we have a discussion about the reservation policy in Secretariat, chaired by Madam Ampren. We have a discussion. We have soft discussion and hot discussion. And after the discussion, we wish each other. And he noticed me and he asked me, I saw you in research center in Nehu. From that day onward, we become very close. And my last meet was when there was a funeral, state funeral service for Dr. Didi Lamphang. I handshake him, we wish each other, and that was my last meet, Dr. Ricky Singhon.
I was talking with the DC yesterday, what are the points that we need to discuss regarding the DC meetings. Since we are having the session, I have conveyed that I couldn't be able to attend. But last night, me and Charles we also were playing football together. After 8:30 we left, and after 15 minutes, Charles calls me that he was in the hospital and informed me that Dr. Ricky Sinkant is no more. His passing is not just a loss to his family, but to the entire community. He was a man of deep humility, quiet strength, and genuine compassion. In a world where people seek often recognition, Dr. Ricky Sinkant chose simplicity. His life was a reflection of service, not show, of substance, not status. Since I've met him very often, and he used to come to Nong Stoin for service. In many of the occasions, I've met him, talked to him, and he was a very special person. What made him truly special was his simplicity of character. He lived a grounded life in values, honesty, kindness, and humility. He spoke gently, acted wisely, and treated everyone with respect, regardless of their positions or background. His presence itself brought comfort and reassurance to those around him. In this moment like this, what often falls short, but what remains eternal are the memories he leaves behind, memories of kindness, of wisdom, and of a life well lived. I and the people of my constituency would like to send a condolence message to his family and all to his loved ones. May you find strength and comfort, the love and support that surround you. May his soul rest in eternal peace.
Habatin, page bahagi kishab plus F.
Ka plus F?
Hakabam bangibam dunaki eki batay kamet. Namar kata habathiru atau khau kamlu ka umpnyang kadut page ya kashab plus F hakajingsom. Yaki nutrient kumki vitamin bat ka iron la icon diat bat akabathau bha kam khta ikadur jingki marbam kajing mat lani ka rukom shed yaki.
Balehi banai kita.
Kadon ka we kajing mentoy ba kongsan. Ka kot ka kia. Ka nutrition bakam bha kajing im bakam bha pendon kam daki marba modon ka sharp plus F menta kasni.
Lawan Ra Shapi Lingba ko office jong Commissionerate of Food Safety Meghalaya.